Staying in touch with your community through local news and information is the gift that keeps giving all year long. Subscribe to the Duluth News Tribune now and get 50% off an annual subscription for you or anyone on your list. Just call 833-248-7801. That's 833-248-7801.
Hello Northlanders, it's Friday, December 30th. I'm Wyatt Buckner with your Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
This weekend, it's New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. If you're looking for fun things to do, Duluth News Tribune arts and entertainment reporter Jay Gabler has some options in this week's Best Bets.
It's New Year's Eve this Saturday night, and there is a lot to do in Duluth and more broadly in the Northland. It's tomorrow night already, so you might already have plans, but if you are still deciding, or if you want to make some plans, you're going to stay home and you decide you want to go out, we have your complete guide to going out on New Year's Eve in Duluth at the News Tribune. So maybe you want a day party, maybe you have kids. Well, don't worry, the Duluth Children's Museum is having a noon Year's Eve party with a celebration at the first 12 o'clock of New Year's Eve. Also, there's music all day long, starting at 7 a.m. coffee hour at Wousseau's Concert Cafe and going all the way up until midnight. All live music there at Wousseau's. Maybe you want to do something a little swankier. Stay out till midnight, get dressed up. We've got events happening at The Deck. They're hosting a celebration at their Harborside Ballroom. There is a Roaring 2023 party at the Rathskeller. The Cotton Mansion, which you've read about in the News Tribune, one of Duluth's newest party pads, even though it's been around since the first decade of the 20th century. They're hosting a big black and white soiree, which could be fun if you want to get a look inside that historic mansion as it appears now. We've got comedy shows, if you want to laugh, happening at Caddyshack, happening at Zeitgeist, at Fitger's Spirit of the North Theater. Funny shows happening there if you want to get out and giggle a little bit before 2023 comes in. If you want interactive entertainment, there's an 80s murder mystery night happening at Wild State Cider. Downtown at the Dublin, there's a hypnotist who will hypnotize you if that is what you wish for your New Year's Eve. And at Duluth Cider, there's going to be a drag show, so the Queens will certainly hope to have your participation and your cheers if you go to that show. And maybe you want to see live music. Plenty of options there, too. The most raucous show might be at the Rex Bar downstairs at Fitger's with A La Mode, Finestra Funk, and New Year's Eve stalwarts, Big Wave Dave, and the Ripples. And there are a couple of country acts at Pier B's Silo's restaurant for a party that I understand is already sold out, unless they've released more tickets. Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to read more about what's going on this New Year's Eve, check out duluthnewstribune.com. I'm Jay Gabler. Happy New Year.
Now here's a look at today's headlines. A federal agency released its final report Thursday on the April 26, 2018 explosion and fire that caused about $500 million in damage to the Husky Superior refinery and injured 36 workers. The explosion released 39,000 pounds of flammable hydrocarbon vapor into the air. Over 2,500 residents of the city of Superior were evacuated from their homes, and the city of Duluth issued a shelter-in-place order. The refinery was owned at the time of the explosion by Husky Energy, which had bought it 6 months prior from Calumet Specialty Products. Husky then merged with Synovus Energy. The final report from the U.S. Chemical Safety and Hazard Investigation Board details how the explosion occurred while the refinery was shutting down its fluid catalytic cracking unit to perform planned maintenance, a common refining process called a turnaround. 2 vessels on the catalytic cracking unit exploded and propelled metal fragments up to 1,200 feet away that punctured a nearby asphalt storage tank and spilled about 17,000 barrels of hot asphalt, which ignited and caused fires. The report noted key safety issues, including lack of industry guidance, safety process knowledge, emergency preparedness and essential safeguards, and outdated equipment that failed to hold up during an extreme event. The release of the investigation took almost 5 years to complete. It was originally set to be released in late spring or early summer 2019, according to the federal agency, which gets to the root cause of incidents and makes safety recommendations but cannot issue penalties. During the Trump administration, the agency was on the chopping block. Burdened by underfunding, turnover investigators, and unfilled board positions, a massive backlog of investigations formed and delayed the inquiry into the Superior refinery. In the year after the explosion, the Chemical Safety Board routinely provided updates on the investigation. The city of Duluth's flag could fly as high as 3rd place in a lighthearted online competition today. Duluth's flag, a blue, white, green, and gold number that won a 2019 contest put forth by Mayor Emily Larson, lost on Thursday morning a semifinal Twitter poll against the flag that represents Lincoln, Nebraska. That means the Zenith City's flag is set to compete Friday via another poll for 3rd place against the green, blue, white, and orange flag of Dowagiac, Michigan. Both matchups are part of a broader 80 flag competition put together by Brian Stockel, a San Francisco city planner and vexillologist, a person who studies the art of flag design. Stockel picked flags for the competition and has been conducting a series of Twitter polls to determine the best. Stockel culled the list of 80 competitors from a few lists on the internet, choosing ones that follow rules of flag design set forward by the North American Vexillological Association. A flag, according to the association, should be simple enough that a child can draw it from memory, have meaningful colors and symbolism, only use a few basic colors that contrast well with one another, use no lettering or seals, and be distinctive from other flags. The dark blue and Duluth City flag is meant to represent Lake Superior. The ripple of green and white along the lower third is the hillside and the woods. The lighter blue above is the sky, and a golden starburst set in the upper left quadrant is the North Star. The new flag was first flown outside Duluth City Hall in June 2021. A criminal complaint filed Thursday against David Wayne Coons, 66, revealed new details about an alleged Tuesday afternoon stabbing. Coons has been charged with first-degree aggravated robbery and first-degree assault, resulting in great bodily harm. Police were called to the scene of a stabbing at 3:14 p.m., where an officer found a large pool of blood outside the back door of the Faith Haven apartment building at 4901 Grand Avenue, the complaint said. Inside, the victim, Deborah Lee Bell, 71, was receiving assistance from a fellow resident of the building. Bell suffered at least 9 cuts to her head, back, and hands. The punctures also caused one of her lungs to collapse and she required an emergency blood transfusion. The building caretaker provided police with video taken from Faith Haven's security cameras, and police believed they recognized the alleged assailant from previous interactions with him. In an interview with Bell, she recalled arriving at Faith Haven and getting out of her vehicle. As she approached the building, she reportedly saw the defendant holding a knife. Bell said she retreated, sounding her vehicle's horn with her fob. The man followed, and she hopped over a brick planter to get away from him, falling into a depression filled with snow. She said the man seemed angry and shouted, "You're done." Bell said the man began to attack, and at first she thought he was punching her in the head. Only a short while later did she realize he was stabbing her with a knife. She recalled assuming a fetal position as the assault continued, with additional stabs and kicks. Bell told police she feared for her life. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought to the Women Today 6th Annual Rosie Awards.
Happy Friday, Duluth area. We're looking at partly cloudy skies throughout the day today with a high of 20 degrees. Winds from the west today about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy with the temperature falling down to 8 degrees. On Saturday, a warm front comes through. That'll boost our temperatures up to 30 degrees. However, we will be checking a chance for some snow developing, especially in the second half of the day. So keep that in mind for your New Year's Eve plans. Getting into New Year's Day on Sunday, mostly cloudy with a high of 32. Tracking another chance for snow as we get into your Monday and Tuesday. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Jesse Ritka.
Thank you to the Rosie Awards for their support. Northland women are a driving force in our community. They are advocates, mentors, volunteers, and leaders. Nominate a special woman you think deserves to be recognized at thewomantoday.com or by email at dearrosie@thewomantoday.com. Nominations are now open and continue through January 31st. Reporting for today's episode was done by Jevi Loverin, Joe Bowen, and Peter Passy. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next year on Tuesday. Happy New Year, everyone.